Hey everyone, you're with Tesla Tom. Thanks so much for joining us today on Ludicrous Feed, where we're reviewing software update 2022.16.2 here in our Tesla Model 3 Performance here in Sydney, Australia. What a beautiful day it is indeed. And nothing too exciting today in the update compared to 16.1.1, the same driver profile improvement and navigation energy prediction improvement. Something I didn't mention last time was the bar for regen braking and power usage has increased, and also of course driver visualization has increased as well. As you can see today, I'm right next to the Tesla showroom here in Sydney, and a lot of you may have seen our Tesla Model Y test drive video recently, where we had the opportunity to go for a drive around the lower North Shore of Sydney. So what I want to do today is just emulate the same route in Sydney, in case you do have a test drive coming up for a 3 or a Y in Chatswood. Then I do recommend this route. It takes about 20 minutes or so. It's a great mix of urban driving and also a bit of autopilot if you want highway driving as well. Just a nice mix to get a feel of the car. And of course, I got a lot of questions about the test drive, like how fast did it go? How much storage does it have? How fast does it charge? And that's when I highly recommend using evee.com.au, which is Australia's very own Tesla and electric vehicle sharing platform. With evee.com.au, you get genuine handovers from real owners of Teslas, and you can certainly hire a Tesla or electric vehicle beyond the very short test drive, which is only 30 minutes here in Chatswood for a Model Y. With evee, you can hire it to obviously go for a long test drive, keep it for a weekend, go for a road trip somewhere, take the family out for a holiday, or you can buy it, the rental, as a gift for that special someone who's always talking about Teslas or electric vehicles. You know exactly what I mean. So check out evee.com.au/TeslaTom, and don't forget to use my coupon code TeslaTom for $30 off your first rental. With an ever-growing fleet of Teslas and electric vehicles to choose from around Australia, there's sure to be an EV electric vehicle near you for rent. And now on with today's video. Alright, so what I'm going to do today is go on exactly the same route, and I won't be talking too much, just in case there's anything major that pops up, or any pertinent points about the drive, and any important directions you should take. But what you should probably pick up on this drive is the suspension. Obviously there's been a lot of talk about the Model Y suspension. To me, when I drove it and when Joy drove it on that test drive video, which I recommend watching, we did say that it drove very similar to our Model 3 Performance, which is what this car is, and the suspension felt very similar, to be honest with you. And that Model Y was a rear-wheel drive, so I can't comment on performance or long-range Y just yet in Australia, but certainly felt very similar, obviously, being higher off the ground with the Y. Okay, so I'm going to keep quiet for a while, and you can enjoy the suspension. And by the way, I am using the very same camera, the GoPro 9 I've got mounted to the glass roof of the Model 3, which I mounted to the Model Y glass roof, and I'm also using the Rode Wireless Go 2, so the same microphone. Everything is controlled from a visual and audio point of view. All right, so here we go. Enjoy. All right, so I'm going to turn off this side street because that's what I did in the test drive video, because I wanted to turn Autopilot on. This is Greenfield Avenue off Eastern Valley Way. And this is a bit of a winding road, so it's a good handling test for the Y test drive, or 3 test drive. Okay, so left onto Kawara Road. And then up this slope here. And then it's a left turn onto Eastern Valleyway to continue on with the test drive. This one is a bit of a tricky turn. This is where you can use your acceleration if you need to. I didn't mention too much about the acceleration in our test drive video. Look, it's okay. Obviously, this is a performance Model 3, so obviously the Model Y rear-wheel drive felt slower, but it's certainly no slouch. It's certainly faster than most ICE cars that you may test drive. Probably on par with the EV6 base or the Ioniq 5. Probably quicker, actually, to be honest. Okay, so Eastern Valleyway, again, I will just keep quiet. You can feel the suspension and how bumpy it is and judge for yourself. And take note, this is a 60km/h road. It's saying 50 because that's the last speed sign it read, but being a local, I know this is a 60 road. That's engaging cruise control. Increase the max speed like that to 60, knowing it's a 60. And I've got FSD capability, so it's recognizing the traffic lights and it's stopping at a red. This does not come with basic autopilot. It won't stop at the red for you if you're the first car. Neither will it do so if you've got enhanced autopilot. You need the FSD capability for this function. So once the lights turn green, if the car will go. A bit slower than you probably otherwise would, but it does go. You can just put your foot on the accelerator to give it a bit of a nudge. You can, of course, use basic autopilot on roads like this. Double tap down. Of course, hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. It's not fully autonomous on the test drive. Please take care. So at this point, if you're feeling you're a bit tight for time, we're about 9 minutes into the video now, you can actually turn right here, or you can turn left here if you feel like you're making good time. So turning right there, you can go back up Edinburgh Road, back to Chatswood, or if you feel like you've got a bit more time, then go this way, left on Sailors Bay Road, and then right down Strathallan towards North Sydney, and then back up the freeway, if you want a bit of freeway driving. So one thing about Tesla's cruise control and autopilot is that it maintains its speed really well. So if you live in an area like Sydney, where there's plenty of mobile and fixed speed cameras, then I do like using cruise control and autopilot quite a bit, just so it keeps the speed. I can go very close to the speed limit with knowing that it's not going to waver too much, unlike other vehicles I've tested. At the most you'll be off by 1, maximum 2 I've seen, but it does keep to the speed limit really well. Yeah, so far the suspension feels very similar to the Model Y test drive. Alright, let's head on to a bit of the Warringah Freeway, just to give a bit of a test. From here you can accelerate a little bit to within the legal limit, of course, in your Model Y test drive, just to get a feel for it. And this is a good route because there's a short section of freeway you can test on as well. So at this point, the Warringah Freeway is a difficult road for a lot of people, even in Sydney as locals. I know I use it quite a lot, so I'm used to the conditions, but just be careful if you are test driving using this bit. Make sure you get off on the North Sydney exit. If you stay on the right there, you'll head towards the city and across the Harbour Bridge, and you'll definitely be over the allocated time. So stay left on Alfred Street here. By the way, you can cancel cruise control or autopilot either with your brake, of course, or with the right stalk. Just flick it up. That'll cancel everything. So see those parking spots on the left? That's where Joy and I did the reverse parallel parking test. You may or may not have time to do that on the Model Y test drive, so if you're running short, then just keep going along this road, save some time. At this big roundabout, indicate right. And, well, it's not really a roundabout, it's, I guess, a U-shaped turn like this. And just stay on the right lane, you'll be fine. And you'll end up facing north eventually again back towards Chatswood. So we're about 15 minutes into the drive. We should have enough time to get back to Chatswood. You can go up Pacific Highway up there. It's a bit slower, but if you're running a bit tight, and you probably normally would on a test drive because it's normally on a weekday, so there's a bit of traffic, whereas today is Saturday morning, there's less traffic in Sydney, then I would strongly recommend going this way. This will go back up the Warringah Freeway and will skip all the traffic lights on Pacific Highway. And you know, if you're a seasoned Tesla driver like me and Joy, then you can tell your rep that, you know, you drive a Tesla already, you just want to drive the Model Y, you don't need too much of a handover, then you'll have more time because it's a 30-minute window. But obviously if you're new to Tesla, then you'll need that initial handover, and that will cut into your driving time. That's fine. You know, you probably should learn how to use the car initially. Then, like I said earlier, up at Sailors Bay Road, turn right instead of coming down to North Sydney, and that will save some time. Okay, so turn right here on Walker Street, where it says City. Don't worry, even though it says City, you'll be fine because, as you'll see, there's a fork up on Berry Street. That brings me north instead of going back down to the city. So during the weekday, a bit of construction here, so that might slow you down as well. Just be wary of that. Okay, I might stay in the left lane to turn right. Okay, so when you turn right onto Berry Street, you want to aim for the left side where it says Freeway, Crow's Nest, Epping, Chatswood. Now this is the fun bit. Can be a bit difficult if you're not used to Sydney roads. This is probably the most interesting road in Sydney. Lots of lanes, lots of people merging in and out, but a good test for your Tesla. So with the acceleration at this point, you can see how easy it is. With a bit of a sharp burst, you can get in between lanes. That's what I love about driving a Tesla, that extra acceleration boost. And from here, you can actually engage autopilot because this lane is where you want to be. So if you're in this lane to start with on the freeway, you're good to go. Okay, so at this point, you want to look for the Brook Street exit, where it says St Leonard's Narrabeen. I know it's not Chatswood, but this is the best way to get back. So from here, turn right onto Brook Street. So at this point, we're 21 minutes into the test drive. Again, this route is probably for seasoned Model 3 owners or Tesla owners without that initial handover, so you'll have more time. Just beware of this dip here. It's easy to go fast. You can even engage Autopilot here to give it a good test. Alright, so I would recommend turning left here on Edinburgh Road. And then turn right on this road here, High Street. And again, this is a good place to test your acceleration. It's quite busy during the weekday. To turn right out. And essentially from here, it's a straight shot back to Tesla Chatswood, as you'll see. Okay, so we're 26 minutes in. We are almost back at Chatswood. As I said, this route is very good for those who are familiar with Tesla, how to use it, how to drive one. And it is close to the 30-minute window, but if you know what you're doing, this is a good road to take to test out Model Y. Okay, so just around this curve here. And once you see all this construction here, you know you are almost back. Left turn onto Lower Gibbs. And there is Tesla right there in the corner, opposite Bunnings. All right, everyone, that's it for today. That's our Tesla software update 2022.16.2. Not too much from the update itself, but I thought I'd give you a chance to see for yourself the route that I recommend if you want to test out Model Y, or Model 3 for that matter, from Tesla Chatswood in Sydney. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe. Until the next update, happy charging.